Hey there, YouTube. Jared here with Godhammer227. I know I look like crap. I just threw on a bandana. I woke up, got in the shower. Here I am. Um, I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for this video, as well as I did for my video called Tolerance, the Elusive Cure. I said a lot of things in that video that angered a lot of people. Um, and there were a lot of, I guess, just people who weren't happy with what I was saying. And I will admit, I was very, very angry at some of the things that I was commenting on. I was in a pretty angry, upset mood. So I said a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have said, did a lot of things I probably shouldn't have done. I wasn't necessarily in a calm, cool, collected mind like I should have been. But anyways, today I wanted to discuss burden of proof. And if you have ever been told to prove something, burden of proof means that it is on your shoulders to prove it or to show how you can tell that something is or is not a certain way. I was watching a Bill O'Reilly interview with Richard Dawkins, and of course, there's two complete polar opposites for you, Bill O'Reilly and Richard Dawkins. But Bill O'Reilly said that he's throwing in with Jesus because science can't tell us where it all came from. Okay, I'll admit the Big Bang Theory is still just a theory. Like, we don't have absolute determinative evidence of its complete and unquestionable existence. Of course, there are still things coming out that say that it is this one way in science. If you believe in the science thing, it says that it's one way, and it's pretty. There's a lot of evidence for it. Okay, but when Bill O'Reilly said he's throwing in with Jesus because we can't prove it. So it becomes, can you prove that there is a God? Can you prove that there isn't? If that is your rebuttal, can you prove that there's a God? And you rebut, can you prove that there isn't? There's a problem there. You don't ever try to prove the negative. There's a very serious problem with that. People say that you have to prove that there's not a God. Well, here's my analogy. I'm not trying to prove that there's not a new species of rhino that patrols the mountains in the Himalayas. There's no search parties going out trying to prove that there is not a rhino that lives in the Himalayas. It's just not that. That's not going to happen. You never try to. There are people that. This is just a weird example out of left field. There might be search parties that go to the Himalayas and look for a rhino that might be living there that we haven't discovered yet. All right? But you never try to prove the negative. You never try to say, well, I don't believe that there's rhinos in the Himalayas, and I'm going to go and not find them because they're not real. It just doesn't make any sense. There's no... It just does not make any sense at all. There's absolutely no reason to do anything like that. So when someone says... you can't prove that there's not. That's like saying I can't prove that there's air around me because I can't see it. So I'm going to go looking for visible air that I can't see. It's just so confusing, and it's so stupid. So to those who say that you can't prove that there's not, that's not how proof works. That's not how burden of proof works. If someone asks you to prove something, you at that point should say that I will do experiments. I will do all the steps of the scientific method to prove this is the case. Like the Big Bang Theory. There's no scientists out there right now saying, prove that the Big Bang Theory is wrong. And you know what? The ones that, want to prove that it's something else, if you came up with the proof that it was not a Big Bang, that it was, say, God, for example, you would be the most famous scientist in the history of the world. You would discover where the universe came from. So it's not that you have to prove that the Big Bang Theory does not exist. You have to prove that something else does exist. You don't try to prove that nothing is nothing. You have to prove that there is something. That's how science works. We don't try and prove that there isn't a certain thing. We try to prove that, no, it's not that thing, but it's this other thing That's what we're trying to prove. So burden of proof does not involve proving a negative. So that's what I wanted to come on and say. Just kind of a little rant. This video is going to be way shorter than any of my other videos, I think. But so that's what I came on to say. Burden of proof. You have to prove the positive, don't prove the negative. We have to prove that there is a rhino in the Himalayas, as my weird example, not that there is not one. So, hope y'all like this video. Thumbs up, like it, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.